Hello, welcome to my channel and thanks for tuning into this video. Today I'm doing first impressions and demo and review of the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Iced Out Highlighter. This highlighter is in the same baked formula as the famous Omrizi highlighter, so I was very excited to hear that this was coming out because I didn't get the Omrizi highlighter and this one looked a little bit more appropriate for my skin tone. So I wanted to show this to you today, so if you'd like to see me apply this and my thoughts on it, as well as some swatch comparisons with other highlighters, just keep on watching. So here is the highlighter. Mine came with a little tiny bit that was crumbled sort of over the top of it, so a little bit broke off, but not too bad. I can still appreciate the beautiful embossment and pattern in here. It's gorgeous. The color is really interesting. I think we'll go into that more when we're doing swatches, but it's just, I can see so many different tones in here, although at first it looks like it's just a white highlighter basically. But I want to get right into it. I haven't put this on my face yet, and I don't have any blush down, so I have my concealer. I used a powder foundation, the Fenty powder foundation. I have bronzer, a matte bronzer, but no blush because I really wanted to see what the color of this would look like on its own, as well as just the finish of it by itself. So I'm going in with my mini cheek from Sonia G, and let's see how it looks. Okay, so I can see it right away, but it's not overly blinding or overwhelming at first, but I can definitely see it, and I can certainly see a gold tone in there, but it's not too dark. So I think this will even work for the fairest of skin tones. I don't have the fairest of the fair, but I'm pretty close, so I think if it's working this easily on me, I don't think it should be really an issue on other skins, but it certainly does have that sort of yellow gold shift to it, absolutely. But it still maintains a sort of frostiness, even in spite of that more warm yellow gold. It's very interesting. When I look at this pan, and I can see it almost looks like there's blue in it, although I haven't detected blue sparkles or shimmers in it, but it almost looks like it has some blue. And then of course you can see the yellow shift, the gold yellow shift. And to me, it just looks like when you have freshly fallen snow and the sun is shining on it, that's exactly what this looks like. So I think it's really, really beautiful. So let's try to build it up a little bit. I think typically I would probably just stop here, but let's see what it can do. And even right now it's building up and we're getting more of that sort of strobing effect. So it's really nice to know too that you can get different effects out of this, and it's not too hard to build, but at the same time it can go on nice and lightly in a more of a sheer coverage, if that's what you desire. Okay, so I think that's good. I did kind of want to see what I could do with it wet on the inner corners here. So I do already have obviously some eyeshadow on the inner corners, and I actually used a bit of this dry to over top of more of a really pale green shimmery shade. But let's get my brush wet here. I'm going to use the Sonia G flat definer, just with some MAC Fix Plus, and I'm just tapping it off a bit so it's not too wet. And I'll go right into that corner where it had broken off a little bit. And yes, I can see that's really showing off the gold tones in here. And certainly giving quite an opaque coverage. And it could be too that some of the green tones in the shadow that are underneath are adding to that sort of boost of the gold. And then I had it on my brow bone dry as well. Yeah, I can see that it does have that yellow, and I don't have anything green on my brow bone up that high. So it does really emphasize the yellow gold when you wet it. Let's just throw a little bit on the Cupid's bow. And again, yeah, I can see the gold there. So I probably wouldn't wear it in that way normally, but I just want to see everything that this can do. So there it is on the cheeks. All by itself with no blush. And I would like to put some blush on because I always feel better with a little bit of blush. This is the NARS blush in Sex Appeal. Very, very pale pinky peach, more peach than pink. And I chose this because it's the right color, but also because it's matte. So we can sort of be sure that even with the blush on, any of the shine that I'm having here is just from the highlighter. I think that color of the blush goes really beautifully with the highlighter too. Almost brings out a bit more peachiness from the highlighter. All right, so I wanted to get into some comparisons with other highlighters that I have. So first I'll swatch the Anastasia. Seems a shame to ruin that beautiful embossing. I'm just gonna do quite a heavy swatch because I want it to be able to show up. The one that I immediately thought of when I saw this highlighter was the Marc Jacobs. This came out a couple of years ago. It's called Worth the Wait. It's the Omega Glaze. I don't know if this is still available. I believe I've seen it on the Marc Jacobs website as recently as November or December, on sale, I think, but I'm not sure if it's still available. But in case some of you have this shade, I wanted to be able to compare them. So there's the Marc Jacobs, there's the Anastasia. They certainly have a different texture. The Marc Jacobs to me is just a normal powder highlighter, and it's quite a thick powder, if that makes sense. So it's not, it doesn't make me think of a sheer powder. It kind of goes on quite immediately and needs to be buffed out. And then just looking at them, Marc Jacobs looks whiter to me. I don't know how well you can see that at all. But to me, the Marc Jacobs looks whiter, and I can see more of the gold from the Anastasia here. And I'm seeing more sort of, maybe it's easier if I do it on my fingers. Yeah, that's a little bit better. That's the Anastasia, that's the Marc Jacobs. So you can see how much whiter the Marc Jacobs is, although it does still have that yellow gold shift to it, like the Anastasia. The Marc Jacobs is a thicker powder, whereas the Anastasia is a gelée formula. So it's more sheer upon initial swatching. And you can kind of see that in the finish. This one looks quite opaque, whereas you can still sort of see a little bit of my skin tone through that. And I think that might help to make this more of a universal shade as well, the Anastasia one, because it has that bit of sheerness. So you can still see your skin. It's going to pick up on your skin tone as well. And so whether you're very fair or much deeper, you're still going to get the skin showing through a little bit while you still have the beautiful shine effect of the highlighter itself. Now another one that I wanted to compare was the Benefit Cookie highlighter. Now to me it looks much peachier in the pan, but I just wanted to see because I do pick up some peach undertones in the Anastasia as well. So those are the two. Again, the Cookie is a powder, so it's a more sort of opaque initial coverage. and it does look a lot peachier to me than the Anastasia. And there were just two others that I wanted to take a look at. One is the Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold, the lightest white gold shade there, which is also a baked formula. So I think that might be a little bit closer to the Anastasia. So there we have those, Charlotte Tilbury, Anastasia. Again, Anastasia is still looking a lot more yellow than the Charlotte Tilbury there. And you can see in the swatches that is the case as well. So there's the Charlotte and there's the Anastasia. But quite similar finishes, I think, and very nice reflect on both of those. The other one that I wanted to take a look at was the highlighter in this Charlotte Tilbury Light Gasm palette, because it is also a gelée formula. And so we have, that's the Light Gasm, that's the Anastasia. Those to me are looking a bit more similar than any of the other two that we've compared, although I see a bit more peachiness in this Charlotte Tilbury one from the Light Gasm palette. And I can see that when I swatch it, a bit more of a champagne to the Light Gasm from Charlotte Tilbury. I turned an overhead light on. I didn't have any other lights other than the sunlight that's indirectly coming through the window here. But I turned the overhead light on just to see if that would show off the highlighter a little bit better. And I'll try to get some footage of it in my bathroom lighting as well, which usually shows up the shine a bit more than this, just the sunlight coming in through the window. So I think that's pretty much it for my initial impressions. I just wanted to do a little bit of a demonstration really of this and to see if it would work on my skin tone, which I think it does. Oh, I did want to do a little bit of a more in-depth swatch, because when I swatch this on my arm, it's right here, and I'm pretty sure you can't see it because I tried to take video and pictures of it yesterday and the camera wasn't able to pick up all the shifting colors, but I definitely see a red glitter in there, very, very fine glitters that I don't think you'd really be able to detect when it's on the face. But there's a red, sort of peachy, but to me it looks more red than peach. And there's a green that I'm seeing, and the yellow gold as well that I'm seeing in little tiny glitters there. So that might also help to adapt it to different skin tones. If different skin tones can meld better with the maybe the red peachy sparkles and the green tones and so on, which might help with an olive complexion. So I just wanted to mention that, but again, I don't think you can really see it there. So I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say for my initial impressions of this Anastasia Iced Out Highlighter. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to see those below. And if you'd like to see more from me, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.